much time and stuff, and none of them they all want what's best for you. I think that's one of the great things about the music program here is that, yeah, there's a lot of people. It's a rather large program, but within your specific concentration, it's it's very personal, and that's very nice.
And the theory comp program is the same way. I mean, Dr. Jacobs has roughly 20 composition students in his studio at the undergrad and grad level, and he treats them all like they are all very individual students worthy of his attention. I mean, we're practically family. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he's very big on encouraging the sense of camaraderie, and hoping that his students can not only work well as individuals, but they can work well with each other. And that's something, because I also have an instrumental performance background, that I was able to see in the instrumental studios as well. So for those people who are interested in doing some sort of instrumental performance as opposed to vocal, they will also get a lot of individual attention by their professors. So
that's great. Speaking of instrumental, I guess it kind of leads into it, not really, but ear training.
Oh boy.
Ear training, yeah, here it comes.
Everybody's favorite subject.
Yeah, ear training at UT is set up different here than it is at many schools, and can you explain that a little bit? Either both of you, one of you, I don't,
I'll go ahead because I did teach it.
It's true, you did. You taught me once. No, you didn't. Yeah, you did. You taught me one semester.
Yes, I did.
Did I pass? I did, didn't I? Did I pass?
I think so.
I think I did.
I don't remember. So.
Well, I had a great teacher.
Oh, well, shit. Basically, the way the ear training program works at UT is it's also, not only is it a class for the undergrads to focus on what they are doing as far as learning how to hear things, but it's also the opportunity to give some of the grad TAs in the theory pedagogy department a chance to teach said classes. So it's a chance for us to learn as much as it is for the students to learn. And basically the way it works is the grading system is not handled by in-class homework assignments or tests or anything like that. 2/3 of your grade is determined by computer lab work, which is if you pass the lab work, then you pass the class. And the good news is that you get as many tries as you want on the lab work. So I know one student who took one of the tests literally 2,000 times before she passed it. But when she passed it, she didn't have to worry about it. The bad news is that if you don't pass any of the tests, then I could pass, if I have 7 tests and I pass 6 but don't pass the 7th one, then I have to retake the entire class, which is a little bit nasty. But the thing is that if you get in there and work really, really hard and tackle it from the get-go, then you'll be able to run through it very quickly. The other 1/3 of the class is sight singing, which is something that can be a little bit intimidating for the person who is not a vocalist, or even the person who is a vocalist, because it's like, I'm not used to reading music, and that's where you find...
we don't read music as musicians, do we? We just don't. Yeah. No.
You mean those notes on the page mean something?
The what?
Who'd have thunk? But the thing is that, and well, not only that, but you also are expected to be able to sing the melodies with the right notes and rhythms, which, if that wasn't enough to begin with, you also have to use solfege. So, the whole do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And at first I thought it was a little bit ridiculous. And then, yet another nice little thing that made me realize just how well prepared I felt was when I went down to Miami to work on my doctorate. I'm singing with one of the choir programs down there, and everybody uses solfege. And we actually use solfege to read through some things in the choir down there. And because they use solfege, I'm seeing them sight sing a lot more difficult music. And if I didn't have the solfege background, I would probably have a little bit more trouble keeping up with the sight singing in this really good ensemble. So being able to apply that sort of thing early on in your undergraduate classes actually really, really preps you for having all the essentials that you need in performance later on in your degrees and later on in life. So it's very practical application, even if it takes a bit to realize it. It's like, I have no regrets about having to go through that.
That's cool. So solfege, important, obviously. And ear training, don't procrastinate to the last minute. Yes, and one thing is that all the ear training tests are all on a computer.
Yes.
It is completely computer-based, and it takes a little bit to get used to those computers.
Of course.
It really does, because it's not like planking it out on a piano, for sure. Okay, so to wrap up this video of awesome, tell me, if you can remember, of one thing that you wish that you had known about UT before you got here, something that you would kind of tell an undergrad coming in, like, okay, just so you're aware, be ready to do this sort of a thing. Some kind of word of advice.
You start.
Advice is a good word to use.
It's gonna make you start. Gosh, trying to think of like. I mean, I think the thing I would say most is be open and look for opportunities, maybe opportunities outside of the box of what you think you're going to do. I know my last semester at UT, I had a couple extra credit hours and I'm taking a ballet class. And it was probably one of my favorite things that I did here. I was like, oh, I wish I had done this sooner. And there are a lot of opportunities, both in the music realm and then outside of it, but I think it's good, look for chances to get out sometimes too, because the music program is wonderful, but there are a lot of other good things going on here, and so give yourself a chance to look around and, take a random outside class, and, don't be afraid to explore kind of some of the other resources. Also, get a chance, study abroad programs, they're awesome.
Okay, so I guess my word of advice would be, you're getting a degree in music. It's supposed to be a little bit fun. I mean, that's why they call it playing,
Just a little fun, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's an element of seriousness in everything that you do, and you are trying to turn this into a career. But it's a requirement that you love what you do. So, and oftentimes when you get really bogged down in some of the more academic classes like theory or musicology, it's very quick to think to yourself, oh, I don't love this anymore. That's the point where you go into a practice room and you just mess around, and just have fun, completely waste an afternoon doing something really stupid and then thinking to yourself, oh, look, I'm making music, So, and that's one of the reasons why we had some a cappella groups start up on campus. It's like these student-run a cappella groups where it's pretty much, it's a requirement to have fun in rehearsals, and it's like, just remember that, a lot of the fun, that you can still have fun while you're working in an academic program. And if you do still have fun while you're working in an academic program, then it's going to be a lot easier. That was a little bit better than saying, it's like press the red button for the practice room doors, otherwise you'll feel stuck, because we don't have those anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I know. No
that
more
would have
music
been
building.
a good piece of advice, though.
Yeah, yeah. Old music building, you could get caught in the practice rooms very, very easily. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we
of
all
us.
did
Yeah.
at one point.
No, it's a rite of passage. Every freshman has to knock on the door. It's like, I can't open the door. Can you tell me how? And there's a red button on the door, but it's like,
But you're not
I can't push.
supposed-
I can't push
It's
the red button.
You're not
It's
supposed
like,
to push the red
it
button.
might. I mean, what if
Except
the music
you
building
are.
exploded?
The floor might drop beneath me and I fall into the gates of hell. Well,
You mean the practice rooms aren't the gates of hell?
Edit.
well, I think I guess to wrap this up, obviously UT is a pretty awesome, I won't use the word awesome, I use that too much. UT is a rather great school to be able to come to that will prepare you accurately if you choose to pursue a master's degree in music, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. No matter what it might be, theory, comp, voice, music education, instrumental music, all of the above. And of course, we've got the Pride of the Southland. How cool is that?
Woo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yay.
awesome. So anyways, well, thank you guys so much
Thank you.
for taking this moment.
No problem.
We're going to get back to drinking our tea and our coffee. So cheers. Cheers, everyone.